Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, 0-0, guys. Episode 1. Episode 1. Yeah! I've been meaning to talk about the way that the internet's been changing lately because I feel like I'm in a very unique position when it comes to the way that things have changed in the past. I don't know, I'd say 10 years, but realistically it's more like the last 4 or 5 years. But I've been on here since I was like I was a little kid. Like, hold on, let me get my fucking... Okay. I've been on here since I was a little fucking kid, right? In the sense that, like, this shit's impacted the way that I turned out a lot. Probably not for the better. Hey, me again. I have to do this again. Yeah, the background's not real. I wouldn't worry about that. U2s. My U2s? Today. Now. Cum jar. Now. Today. The only day you can get it. Launching right now, 12 p.m. There's a timer. There? Up there. There's a timer. That, from when this video launches, that's the real timer. You can only get my U2s, my cum jar U2s, my brainchild. My brainchild, my cum jar U2s, only today, 12 o'clock. You can get it. You can get it. Sorry for interrupting. And when I bring this up, it seems like either people know exactly what I'm talking about and they're like, oh yes, dude, like it's so weird that things have changed like this. Or they're like, what are you talking about? You mean that you don't appreciate the procession of language upon a new direction where people are kinder to each other and respect each other more? It's some weird like shit like that. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm talking about teabagging people. I didn't realize that we were talking about like linguistic development. Like it's not normal for a culture to go from responsibility being on the individual, and let me put it this way. It's not normal for a culture to go from putting all responsibility on the individual to like maintain their ego or whatever you'd want to call it, you know, their self-confidence and everything. Like think about like old YouTube comments, right? It's not normal for a site to go from the cesspit as it was, where it was like, oh yeah, you made a shitty video, good luck fucking looking at your comment section. You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever the people are going to think of you. Nobody's protecting you from anybody, right? That's how it used to be. And then in like 5 years, we've gone from that to now it's like, I literally have to censor my comment section or my videos get demonetized and nobody can see them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get me? Like, it's really fucking weird, right? This isn't some like fucking 2016 boomer weird political YouTube video where I'm gonna be like, ah, you're a snowflake, you're stupid, and then just pick the low-hanging fruit for the next few minutes. I'm legitimately trying to get to like the bottom of why this happens here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. People that I talk to about this tend to imply that either this is the result of more people coming to the internet and it becoming like more mainstream and it's not just a bunch of fucking mid-20s people making fun of each other anymore or something. That like the internet has evolved and now it's like something for everybody, so things need to change. Or they're like I was kind of saying before, they're like, listen dude, like language has just advanced, man, and you gotta be like ready for whatever's next. Don't say fuck anymore. Like shit like that. Like why can't I say fuck? You ever see a movie? They can say fuck in them. Why can't I say fuck here? They run ads before movies. Why can't I say fuck right now? I'm just gonna keep saying fuck. The way I see it is it's like... there's something really harmful about a hugbox, right? Which if you don't know, I've named my channel this because I didn't want to delete my comments, right? Like, when I got into YouTube, right? It was like... I started my YouTube channel in 2015, and this was right after a bunch of YouTubers that I was watching, like people that review games or whatever, like talk about the games industry, shit like that. They were all like, oh, I just can't take my comment section anymore. They're so mean. I just can't live. Like, oh, how am I gonna exist? I'm fucking vomiting my opinions out into the universe, and I'm shocked that people don't like them. Like, oh god, how can I exist? The whole idea that I've always had with YouTube was to just have conversations with people, and like if people hate me, I don't really give a shit because it's like they're seeing such a narrow slice of me that I don't really care. Maybe it's because I don't put my entire identity into whether or not people watch me on YouTube. But this happened in about 2014, I would say. A bunch of YouTubers couldn't hack it with their comment sections anymore, and they were just like, listen, I have to delete every negative comment so that everybody just agrees with me all the time. I should probably clarify, a hugbox The reason that I name myself what I name myself, I have to keep explaining this to people. You're welcome. The reason I have to keep explaining this to people is I named myself this. This fucking took me a long time to get there. I'm drunk. The reason I have to keep explaining this, right? A hugbox is a place that people go to only hear other people that have the same opinion of them, so that they have this weird cathartic thing where they just feel like they're absolutely ultimately right and there are no consequences for anything that they do. Which in my opinion is like the most horrible thing that you could ever do to yourself. So my idea with my channel was I wasn't going to delete my comment section. I wasn't going to fuck with it at all. Whatever people said was going to be there. The top comment could literally be somebody calling me a slur or something. I don't care. It can fucking stay. You know what I mean? If somebody's stupid, you let the stupid people expose themselves, right? Like, I had this whole drama when I started a Discord server, right? Everybody got mad at me because I refused to, like, stipulate rules, right? The idea is that by making those concrete rules, all you're doing is telling the bad people what they have to avoid to not get banned, right? So they'll just skirt around the edges of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people are gonna be dumb, just let them be dumb so that you realize that they're dumb and you don't have to listen to them anymore. You get me? Like, if people are gonna be stupid, let them be stupid. Now I know that they're stupid. Let me give you a little bit of a timeline, right? 2014, everybody started censoring their comment sections, whatever. People get all, like, depressed about the fact that people are being mean to them. And I'm not shitting on depression, believe me, I'm not shitting on depression. But what I am shitting on is trying to influence what other people say based on your own emotions, right? Because that's not how the world works. The world doesn't wait for you, as my father once said. 2014, you have them start doing this shit. This builds over a little bit of time. There's this back and forth between, like, the edgier kind of YouTubers and, like, the more normal, like, I don't have any opinions, but just, like, be nice to people shit. Like, when, you know what I mean? When people do that so they seem like they're more moral than you and they're superior. That'll be another episode, don't worry. It builds up, and then we have whatever the first adpocalypse, which was whatever, 2015, 2016. When a bunch of sponsors and advertisers were like, oh, we won't advertise on YouTube unless you clean up your act, right? And YouTube gets all weird with people, and you can't make any money doing anything or whatever. Maybe this was a little bit later. Maybe this is when I started making videos. I don't know. Somewhere in there this started happening. I don't know. And then the 2016 election happens, and you had, like, this weird faction of YouTube, which were, like, these, like, political YouTubers that, like, never said anything. Never did anything. They never, like, they'd, like, debate, but, like, they weren't debating anything. They were just fucking, nobody was trying to win. Nobody's trying to understand. They're just trying to fucking win points, right? Bunch of fucking losers, in my opinion. And for some reason, YouTube really promoted that. Like, the YouTube algorithm fucking loved people that would spend 30 minutes reading headlines and being like, you're stupid. Oh, I thought that was really fucking lame. And then them letting that happen led to them saying, oh, radical politics are appearing on our platform. What do we do about it? And so now you're not allowed to talk about anything. And, like, things just got like, over time, you just started getting squeezed, right? And by you, I mean me. Everybody on this site. Everyone just started getting squeezed. Where it went from, like, oh, you can't talk about these topics, to you can't talk about these topics either, to, oh, you can't swear. And then to, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I thought this was a website for expression, right? This shit built up until we end up where we are today, right? And so how the fuck did we get here is what I'm saying. I think it was the fault of the people that were censoring their comment sections, personally. I think they set a very dangerous precedent, and they never assumed any sort of responsibility for their, I almost said their communities, but they're not even responsible for their communities, for the way that they handled their communities. Like, people are dicks to me online all the time. People send me death threats all the time, and I don't fucking care, because I don't believe them. I think they're fucking pussies, and I feel bad for them, right? I just cannot really fathom a way in which you can be a YouTuber with, like, fucking 1.5 million subs or whatever. You're making an obscene amount of money, and you just can't enjoy your life because somebody says something mean to you. Fuck you, dude. Like, seriously, I have no sympathy, man. So basically, we end up in this position, right, which is the modern day, where if you want your video shown to anybody, you have to censor your comment section. You have to make sure that everything falls in line with these guidances for a healthy, happy, whatever they call it. Fuck it. You gotta be a citizen of the world. You gotta have a healthy, happy model village community. Everybody needs to get along. Everybody backpats! Like shit like that. It's this constant like fucking... I'm not gonna name anybody's name, but you know the sort of people that fucking like you go on Twitter or something, and like you just see them being like, hey, be nice to people. Fucking congratulations. Thank you. You're such a great person. Wow, I never thought of that. You know what I mean? Like, the reason that good people don't do that is because they already know it. The fact that you have to say it, like, oh wow, fucking be nice to people. Fucking genius, dude. You know what I mean? Like, there's no moralism to this. It's all just fucking people trying to seem like they're better than other people. You get me? That's where we are today. That's where we've ended up, right? And so this brings me to the topic of influencers, right? The people that say these sort of things, the people that cause this to happen, right? Because, like let me put it this way. I want to back up a little bit, and I don't mean to... This is not me shitting on anybody. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. It's nothing like that, right? What I'm saying is that the reason that I got into YouTube seems very different than the reason that these people got into YouTube. Like, for example, the only reason that you're seeing my face right now is because I was forced into it, right? Like, I had my face leaked. I had my name leaked, right? When I started my YouTube channel, I wanted it to be as far away from me, Noah, as it could possibly be, because I wanted people to judge it based on its merit, not who it's coming from, right? Like, I wouldn't be here right now if I wasn't forced into this shit. Believe me, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I want to be in the mountains of Montana with 40 guns, a lot of gold, and a lot of beer. Do you think I want to be here right now in Southern California? I just want to fucking grill, for God's sake, man. But let me have another brewski. Hold on. Influencers, right? Those YouTubers that were censoring their comment section were, in my opinion, the first generation of what we now know is the concept of the influencer, right? As in this person who's not a celebrity or anything, but like they're on social media and they have a following. And what their real job is to do is to change the definition of what is acceptable, respectable, or I guess tolerable, right? Whatever's cool, right? These as Yuri Bezmenov said, these
public opinion makers,
right? The people that make other people think what they think. That's what influencers really are. They're not there to entertain you. They're not there to do any of that sort of shit. They don't care about you. They're there to change your opinion, right? Think about it this way, right? I've never talked about this before, and it takes a lot for me to talk about it, right? I start going on Twitter, and what I immediately started to notice was a bunch of fucking 14-year-olds that have, like, weird sex shit in their bios were, like, following me. And I was like, what the fuck? Or it'd be like, 14, sub, BDSM. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm gonna be totally honest. When I was 14, I didn't know what that shit was. You know what I mean? Like, when I was 14, I was thinking about, like, guns. And, like, that's it. I mean, that's a story for another day. But anyway, like, if you want to know why this happened, and I mean, I've certainly wondered why this happened a lot, because it fucking jarred the shit out of me when I started using social media, because I'm not much of a social media person. I go on Twitter, and I find a bunch of adults with audiences in, like, the mid to late teens, getting them fired up about, like, political issues and shit, and, like, sexuality and all these sort of things that when I was that age, I didn't fucking know shit. I didn't know who I was. You know what I mean? Like, not I didn't know who I was, but you know what I mean? You don't know how you're gonna turn out. You don't know anything when you're a fucking kid. You have no life experiences, nothing to color how you are. You just have social pressures, which is what influencers do. You remember when everybody thought that it was a great idea to give your fans some kind of identity label? Like, remember when the Vlog brothers were calling their audience nerd fighters and shit like that? All to just get lonely people to feel like they belong, right? Like, this sort of shit is how you end up with K-pop stans, right? They subsist off of vulnerable people. They subsist off of giving these people a sense of belonging. And then they turn around and stab them in the back and say, well, you want to keep that sense of belonging, you have to convert to my religion, basically. Right? Like I go back to... I'll use this metaphor, right? Or rather, simile. If you were starving to death, right? then somebody comes up to you and they go, okay, well, convert to my religion and I'll feed you. That's what they're doing, right? These people feel lost, they feel vulnerable, and they exploit them into believing what they believe. Not even believing it, but they force them into believing what they believe, or else they will suffer a pain that is intolerable to them. Does that seem right to you? Like, does this not bother you in any way? Like, is this just me? Does this seem wrong to you? Just me. Surely it can't just be me. Right, guys? Like, surely it can't just be me. Like, for example, I'm gonna hit it hard right here. I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm gonna get canceled for this one. But what fucking 14-year-old wants to be head landlords? Where do you think they learned that from? In my opinion, what you now have are a bunch of grown adults whispering into the ears of children over the things that kids are actually meant to enjoy, you know, like fucking video games and shit like that, right? You have these grown adults whispering into their ears what they should believe. And I don't think that they should be doing that. Like, do you think it's normal for a grown man to be like, hey, welcome to my Minecraft stream. If you don't vote for the person that I want to vote for, you're a horrible person. That's normal, right? Like, that's normal to put that kind of pressure on somebody who is forming their identity right now. You think that's not going to sway them? You think that in that vulnerable state, that's not going to affect how they turn out? Right? These people subsist off of exacting social pressure on people who are at the most vulnerable state in their lives, right? And that doesn't, like, sit wrong with you. Because it certainly does with me. Like, I stream, right? I stream. I'm in this world to a certain extent. I'm not a fucking big streamer, but I stream, right? I never tell my audience what to think. I avoid these topics specifically because I don't want to influence them. I want people to grow up to be the people that they are. I don't want them to fucking believe something that they don't actually believe. You know what I mean? Or say something they don't actually believe because they think that they have to, or else they'll be ostracized. It's pretty fucked up. It's manipulating a vulnerable group of people into tying their identity into a faceless group or a piece of media that tells them what to think and how to act and what to believe. And there's no way that that's good for people. There's no way. It's antithetical to free thought. I mean, personally, I got into YouTube to have discussions with people and to succeed on my own merits and make things. And to me, that is the exact opposite of sitting there in front of a webcam and playing games and then telling people that if they don't believe what you believe, they're an evil motherfucker and they should hate themselves or whatever, or that they don't care about people. Because, you know, nobody knows who's good and who's bad more than grown adults that play video games in front of children for a living. You know, you should really be listening to them. I always come back to that clip of the grown-ass man crying over the Star Wars trailer and how everybody, like, defended that. And I'm not saying everybody. When I say everybody, I mean everybody in my little sphere, everybody that I know, right? Quite a few people that I know on a personal level acted like I was a piece of shit for saying that that was really sad. And that it's a real shame that an adult man would have nothing more to care about in his life that he would cry over a Star Wars trailer. Like, I fucking grew up with Star Wars. A lot of people did, right? I see the Star Wars trailer and I go, maybe I'll watch that movie. I don't cry, right? That's not a normal reaction. It shows a sort of pathology, almost, of media. It's a sort of, like, tying your identity into a piece of media is something you should never do. Media is made by somebody else, right? It's made to give context to existence. It's the opposite. Like, by tying your identity into media, you're doing the exact opposite of what media is supposed to do, which is give you perspective, right? And being brought to the brink of tears, or not even the brink, being brought to tears over a trailer for a movie is just so profoundly pathetic. And the reason I bring this up is because everybody I knew defended that guy, and they said that I was a piece of shit for saying that that was sad, and that's not a normal reaction to things, which it isn't a normal reaction to anything involving entertainment, right? The reason they react this way, in my opinion, just based on the people that I know, take this with a grain of salt, is that They know this is how they make their job. They want to get these fucking people to show up to their fucking 12-hour streams for fucking 6 hours a day and sit in their chat and do nothing but interact with them and hope for approval. They subsist off of creating a toxic relationship with their fans. I do not use that word lightly. They always, like, fire back with this thing where they go, oh, let people enjoy things. Like, I'm some sort of piece of shit for telling people to go out into the world and, like, I don't know, like, interact with people and build their skills. I'm some sort of piece of shit for saying... It's not a matter of enjoyment. It's a matter of saying, go enjoy your life, to me. They always say, let people enjoy things. What they mean by that is, don't tell them that this is how I make my money. Let them keep coming back and paying me, right? Personally, I think that rather than spending your free time watching other people do things, watching other people stream, watching other people play video games like fucking Squidward looking out that window at SpongeBob and Patrick having fun, what if you, instead of bowing to their feet and acting like they're better than you, which they're not, they're as much of a person as you are. I'm as much of a person as you are, dude. I'm not fucking coming at this from my fucking soapbox. I'm just a fucking guy. I'm a high school dropout wearing the shirt he wore to prom that still has the sweat stains from where he wore to prom, right? I'm as much of a dude as anybody else, right? Go out and fucking live your life. No, they say, let people enjoy things. It's totally normal to stay inside for 16 hours a day and just consume content all the time. No! What I'm getting at here, and why this video is titled as such, as meandering as it may have been, is that to the typical content creator, right? You think you matter to these people. You don't. You don't. Right? And the reason that I'm telling you this, if you think these people have your best interests in mind, if you think that these people are your friends, right? You're a fucking fool. I'm sorry, but I mean, it's true. Like, you need to realize this. You're fucking 16 years old, and some dude who plays games for 10 hours a day is gonna sit there and tell you who to vote for and what to believe, and if you don't believe it, you're not welcome in his community, and shit like this. Please. Like fucking please, dude. Like, come on. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, is that you need to think for yourself. Don't base anything about yourself on other people. There's no reason. Learn from other people. Don't become them. Don't emulate them. It won't help you, right? I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not trying to tell you what to think. I'm just trying to tell you to think. Thanks for watching. I hope this wasn't shit. This is the first one of a new run. I hope this goes well. Thank you, guys. What these people want is total homogeneity, the dissolution of the individual into the group, so everyone is easily manipulated. And I'm getting really fucking sick of it.